What's up, guys? It's me, Alan, and I am back for another video today, and I got another NASCAR Diecast review to do today, and this is another Wave 7 NASCAR Diecast. So, this one, I think this is a pretty neat car, neat paint scheme. I think we've seen this sponsor before, but I don't think we've seen it with Blaney in the Cup Series. Or in terms of diecast form or whatever. But anyway, so this is Ryan Blaney's 2020 DEX Imaging Ford for Penske Racing, or for Team Penske. Yeah, you know what I meant. So go ahead and get this diecast out of its box and get on the review, shall we? Yeah, I talked about drivers when I've reviewed their cars in previous videos, and for Ryan Blaney in 2020, it's hard to talk about Blaney's season without calling his season a disappointment. The way it ended, when it comes to Ryan Blaney, he's sort of part of this whole youth movement with him, Chase Elliott, Bubba Wallace. I would still say you could put Kyle Larson in there, even with what happened. But let's make sure it moves. There's the diecast. There's the sticker. And now back to the diecast. But in terms of Blaney's 2020 season, he did win, obviously. He won the Talladega race. But it seems like all of his wins have come, all but one of them really have come at the super speedways. I could be wrong there, but, he's one of those guys that seems to win at the super speedways a lot, but it doesn't seem to be able to win really anywhere else. Obviously, his very first Cup Series win came with the Wood brothers at Pocono, as we have a loose windshield. Rear window's all right, but windshield is loose. Go figure. But again, in holding off Kevin Harvick no less with that race at Pocono to get his first win. But realistically, I think you have to wonder. Oh my God, Pennzoil and the Ford logos off to the right based on this angle. Holy crap. Sorry, let me get back on track here. So, as far as Blaney goes, though, I think when you look at him, I think 2021, he really needs to step it up and improve. I don't think one win is enough for him. Let me get the Ford bumper there off, move it off to the left a bit. I don't think one win is enough for Blaney next year. I really think he needs to go out there. Not only winning is one thing, but I think also try it, with more consistency and better performance in his racing. Because you look what happened with Penske last year. They swapped the crew chiefs for all three teams, and you could say that Blaney, he got an upgrade in terms of his crew chief with that move. And I think a lot of people were looking at Blaney to possibly maybe win a couple of races, and it just didn't happen. And then we all know what happened the first round of the playoffs. He gets that penalty prior to Darlington, and just everything falls to shit. And he gets knocked out in the first round of the playoffs, whereas I think a lot of us, and myself included, had him at least going 2 rounds, possibly 3. Again, it's hard to talk about Blaney's 2020 season without saying it was a disappointment. Because you look at Logano and Keselowski. Obviously, Logano, he gets 2 wins out of the first 4 races. Then we have the pandemic break, and then we get back from the break, and Logano just flies under the radar for most of the season. And then I don't think he won again until he beat Harvick at Kansas in the playoffs in the 3rd round. He might have got another win somewhere in between there and early in the season. I could be wrong, but that happened. And then you look at Keselowski, and he was doing all right early on, and then he got some wins late around mid to later in the season. Obviously won New Hampshire earlier this year, I believe, if I remember right, and won a couple other races as well. And he got pretty far, if memory serves me right, got all the way to the Final 4. So you have to. You look at Blaney's season, I think he had the highest hopes of any of the 3 in terms of expectations towards him, and it just It didn't happen. It just didn't. Which honestly sucks. And if you're Ryan Blaney, I think you got to look at it as next year, or 2021, he's got to step it up, because look at what's going on right now. You have Keselowski, who signed the 1 year, so we don't know. So he's at least going to be with Penske for 2021. We don't know anything beyond that. Logano's going to be there. I think his contract, I don't think, ends for a couple of years. And then you look at what they've got coming up through. We obviously have Matt DiBenedetto with the alliance with the Wood brothers. There was some worries to what was going to happen with him, and he's going to come back for the Wood brothers in 2021. And then Austin Cindric's going to get some Cup starts in 2021, and then he's going to go to the 21 in 2022. The real question is here: what happens in these next 2 years for Blaney? If 2021, if we don't see an improvement for Blaney in 2021, whether, just in consistency, wins, I think you got to wonder, is he going to lose the number 12 ride? And, I think that also depends on what happens with Keselowski, what happens with DiBenedetto, because DiBenedetto, I think, depending on what happens with DiBenedetto, maybe he gets, in with one of Penske's, 3 rides. Because of the fact that Cindric's going to the 21 in 2022. And then that really makes you think, where could Blaney go after that? It's a lot of what ifs, and a lot of future things that, need to be thought about, I think. And hopefully for Blaney, things go better for him in 2021. We'll see. But anyway, so I think the paint scheme, it's relatively, it's kind of plain and simple, but that's what sometimes it just works better that way. And yeah, so thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't really have a ton else to say about this, so again, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like, subscribe for more content like this, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.